Hello to all of you, whom we love unconditionally, regardless of your race or nationality, wherever you are. I'm Dr. Jaavid, specialist in traditional medicine. In this program, we want to talk about a widespread pain. Many people think that the only treatment for it is surgery. But in this video, I share my experiences in treating over 100 of my own patients with you. To know that, without surgery, instead with a very special and interesting method, it is possible to treat lumbar and neck discs. We have a very important video ahead, stay with us. In a human spinal column, there are 24 vertebrae stacked on top of each other. 7 of these vertebrae are in the neck region called cervical or neck vertebrae. 12 of them are thoracic or upper back vertebrae. And there are 5 lumbar or lower back vertebrae. And these 24 vertebrae are held together by muscles stacked on top of each other. And through the middle of these, the spinal cord and spinal nerves pass. Sometimes we experience pain in the spinal column region. This pain can sometimes be mild and sometimes severe, to the extent that we cannot perform any movement. And we consult a specialist physician. The physician takes an X-ray and says that you have vertebral displacement or your vertebrae have come close together. And the disc has come under pressure. Sometimes it can be severe, and they may say you have a herniated disc or have experienced a ruptured disc. Whichever of these events occurs, it leads to severe pain in the lower back, upper back, or neck region. In this video, we want to take a new perspective on this topic that you've never heard before, with a very different treatment approach. To present my own style, I'll start by giving an example. Please listen carefully. Imagine that you are in a mental and emotional state, for example. You have relationship problem with a friend or a family member, and this distress has consumed your entire energy. You are so upset that you're keeping it to yourself and enduring a lot of emotional pressure. Then suddenly, someone brings a lineman's pliers and places your finger under it, applying pressure. What happens? You forget all those emotional and mental pressures and focus on this physical pain instead. You pay attention to the pain you're currently experiencing. I've named this the body's lineman's pliers defense mechanism. Exactly, this is what happens in our bodies when we experience excessive mental and emotional pressures. What does it mean? It means that, when we are under mental pressures, stress, and tensions, and facing challenges that can disrupt our well-being, we have a mechanism that comes into play. Our brain instructs and tells the muscles to grab, spasm, and create pain, so that the person forgets about that mental problem. Because that problem is wearing that person down. The occurrence that happens is that muscles and nerves collaborate to create nerve and muscle cramps. And in the spinal column area, spasms begin. And these spasms bring the vertebrae closer together, or causes spine deviation. And these spasms result in severe pain. So, one of the main causes of lower back disc issues is mental and emotional stress. And interestingly, most of the pains that occur in the lower back region and the lower back discs are sudden. And interestingly, these events often occur when you are under a lot of mental and emotional stress. For example, when someone is dealing with financial checks or debts. Or when someone is planning a wedding ceremony or has a lot of mental concerns. And facing difficulties, or for example, students preparing for college entrance exams who are under mental stress and pressure, you see, during that time or shortly thereafter, they experience these conditions. For instance, someone at a wedding, lifting a table to move it, suddenly says, "My back seized up." I've seen this happen many times based on experience, and I'm sure you've witnessed it too. So, when such a mechanism is at play in our bodies, it's important to understand it well. It's interesting to know that understanding this mechanism is crucial for its treatment. Why? Because when we know it's a nerve and muscle spasm in our body, it's because our thoughts and mind are involved, and when our mind is deeply engaged, this mental involvement leads to a nerve and muscle spasm in the body. When we realized this, as soon as our patients would understand this, it creates a sense of calm within them. Well, that's it, Yes, right, and I experienced this pain exactly when I endured mental and emotional pressures. Immediately, a significant portion of their pain is reduced by understanding this mechanism. So, in the initial stages of our treatments, we introduce psychological therapy to our patients. Now, let's go to the physical and herbal treatment methods that we need to use. Foods you should eat and those you should avoid, and complementary treatment methods. And non-surgical treatment for lower back disc issues. Dear people, perform the method that I want to share with you with a relief mind. And please leave comments about the amazing results you have achieved. We would be delighted if you, same as lots of other patients who had disc issues and had to undergo surgery, be freed from operation. One of my joys is to reduce a person's pain. And to save a person from surgery. It's very gratifying, and I have experienced it a lot. And I'd love to share this experience with you, and if you like, please make sure to subscribe our channel. Like the posts, and recommend it to others, so that everyone can benefit from these simple yet effective and proven methods. Thank you. For treatment, I quickly cut to the chase. And we avoid delving into the specialized mechanism of it. Because all you need to do is follow these steps. When you experience lower back and neck pain, understanding that it's a nerve and muscle spasm and that work needs to be done on the nerves is important. So, you should use some soothing techniques. Such as mental relaxations as spending time in nature, meeting your beloved ones, and being around people who bring you peace can reduce your stress. Like parents, family, and good friends, spending your time with them reduces the pain. You can use herbal teas that provide you with relaxation. Such as lemon bee brush, orange blossom, lavender, rosemary, and lemon balm. These herbal teas are very good for the nerves. You can brew them, sweeten them with honey, and enjoy. The next step in treating lower back disc issues is to ensure that the bowels are emptied regularly. This is very important. Because when the bowels are full, and a person is experiencing constipation, it puts pressure on the discs and the vertebrae. So, as soon as the bowels are emptied, it helps relieving the pain from the discs. You should use a laxative twice a day. Herbal laxatives like damask rose and senna leaf, you can boil a tablespoon of each, brew them and enjoy. Or there's a plant called cassia, which has finger-like leaves, you can crush half a cup of it, boil, and then drink. Or you can use castor oil, once a day, ensuring the bowels are emptied. The treatment period is 15 days, and if you follow these steps, you can be freed from surgery. These recommendations and dietary guidelines that I'm sharing with you, only doing them for a mere 15 days is enough, you will witness the remarkable results yourself. Leave us a comment to make us happy too. By seeing and hearing the comments of healed patients, we gain a lot of energy. Thank you. During these 2 weeks of treatment, it's essential to fully relax and get rest, and minimize physical activities and stay at home. Also, when your pain is really severe, it's better to have complete rest for a week at home, in order to get better as soon as possible. A good dietary plan for these individuals is as follows. They can eat lamb loin meat every other day. If conditions allow, it's better to cook or grill your meat on a charcoal grill or charcoal-fired barbecue. Or it's better to cook it, and if conditions aren't available, you can boil it. Lamb loin meat, which is the lamb's back. This has been mentioned in ancient traditional medicine. Each organ in a sheep's body is a tonic equivalent to the same organ in a human body. For example, a sheep's eye is good for strengthening human eyes, and sheep's muscles can be beneficial for strengthening our muscles, and so on. So, you can have this meal 3 or 4 times a week. It's better to use fruits and honey syrup for breakfast. Use fresh fruits. The recipe of honey syrup is a cup of water with a tablespoon of honey. And you can add a little lemon juice to it. I recommend you to have the same dinner I've mentioned for 2 weeks. About the size of a saucer, sesame seeds, unpeeled sesame if available is better, along with 7 dates and fruits. So, breakfast and dinner mostly consist of raw foods and fruit consumption, and only the main meal, if it is lunch, you can have meat. If lamb loin is not available, you can use meat from under the hump of a camel, which is very good and helps with disc improvement. My dear ones, what you need to believe is that our body's system has the capability to heal itself, and it can self-repair and recover. And don't consider the disc a hard and rigid piece of hardware. The disc is, in fact, a soft gelatin, a cartilage. That is capable of healing, recovering, and improving. And these simple guidelines I'm telling you have saved the lives of more than 100 people from surgery. So, take doing these recommendations very seriously and recommend them to others as well. Definitely share the results with us, and remember that our recommendations have no side effects. It's neither a herbal remedy with its own specific side effects, nor modern medical methods involving chemical drugs and surgeries with their own set of risks. So, carry out these methods with peace of mind. Even if you have back pain, you can still follow these methods. The next thing that should reach the body is the gelatinous substance found in sheep's feet, or even chicken feet, which you can boil and extract the gelatin, put it in a container, and keep it in the refrigerator, and with your meals, use a spoonful of this chicken feet gelatin. Or you can cook sheep's feet, use them separately or add them to your soup as well for consumption. Every day, you should have gelatinous substance reach your body. If none of these are available, you can also use okra. Notice how slimy it gets when you cook it. The mucilage found inside okra is very effective for disc repair and is very helpful. The next item for food is the use of eshkeen kashk or kale jush, a traditional Persian dish, which has a lot of calcium, vitamin D, and phosphorus. Provided that it is used in the right manner. I mean, the curd or kashk should be cooked with its own special recipe, with oil and walnuts. And then a few dates should also be used in the meal, which contains vitamin D. So, this is a really good meal for disc problems and bone issues. I'll tell you about another interesting dish as well. It's a food that exists in most parts of the world. A plant called pumpkin, which is orange in color and large or butternut squash. Pumpkin is rich in vitamin D, which plays an essential role in bone health. If it's in season, you can cook and use it according to the method I'll describe. Boil the pumpkin, put it in a blender, add a little olive oil and a bit of honey, and blend it. Then spread it on a wide plate and garnish it with coconut powder and cinnamon powder on top. And put it in the refrigerator to cool and firm up before using. With this cooking recipe I mentioned, it becomes very delicious. Since vitamin D is fat-soluble, it must be used with oil, such as olive oil, in this dish. This is one of the incredibly excellent and interesting dishes for bone issues, arthritis, and disc problems. Dear individuals who suffer from neck and spinal pain, try to grease the neck area to the end of the spine at night. With black seed oil. Black seed oil is usually available in most places around the world. If there's also bitter almond oil, they can mix them together. If not, only black seed oil. They should grease that part, put plastic wrap over it so the clothing doesn't get wet, and leave it wet overnight until morning. They should continue doing this during the course of these 2 weeks of treatment. Let me also tell you about another ointment, which is interesting and has been tried, for when black seed oil is not available. The size of the palm of your hand, sheep's tail fat, few dates, and a little ginger and a little turmeric. Mix these together and apply to the painful area, then cover it with plastic wrap. Be cautious, in case of sensitivity or having burning sensation, you should remove it after 2 or 3 hours, as ginger should be used sparingly. But if you don't experience any burning sensation, you can leave it on overnight, from night until morning. And a final note for treating lower back disc issues, neck pain, and arthritis pain is a simple herbal tea. Using a simple herbal tea that can be very helpful in aiding improvement. It's cinnamon and ginger tea. Put 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and half a teaspoon of ginger in 2 cups of boiling water. Let it steep, and enjoy it warm with honey or dates. This promotes blood circulation in the body and helps facilitate faster recovery. Dear ones, all these methods I've mentioned require one condition for results. Listen carefully, all these methods I've mentioned have one condition for achieving results. You'll only get results when you completely avoid these 5 things I'm mentioning. 1. Tea, green tea, and black tea. During the course of treatment. 2. Pickles, do not consume any type of pickles at all. 3. Chicken, avoid using factory-farmed chicken and white meat. 4. Yogurt and dairy products. Absolutely do not use them during the treatment period. 5. Don't have stress, worry and negative thoughts. These 5 items are among your prohibitions. I hope you will never suffer from pain. Live healthy, energetic, motivated and have great goals in life. And if you get a pain, try to use simple, natural and organic methods for treatment first. And then go to hard treatment methods such as surgery and special and complex drugs. As a doctor who has visited more than 50,000 people, I try to provide you with my experiences in this channel. Experiences that have had very good results and people were satisfied with them. So if you like, share your thoughts with us and leave a comment. Thank you, see you later. Farewell.